It's time for Toros Hockey on the Minotauros Network, Hockey TV, Facebook Live, Mixler, and GoToros.com. Minotauros Hockey is brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Gooseneck Implement, Liberty Tax, and Applebee's. Now let's go live to the rink in the Farmers Union pregame show with Ken Oda.
What do I hit?
Hello and welcome to the Farmers Union pregame show. As always, I'm Ken Oda. Noah Grant is alongside. We're getting you ready for Toros and Bobcats after a busy week here in the North American Hockey League.
Yeah, it certainly was. Obviously, a weekend, I think, where the Toros, again, kind of rocky to start out the weekend. Really was one of those weekends, again, where the Toros had to have some late-game heroics to kind of get out of there and escape with some points. But that's what good teams do, kind of trying to find some momentum here, getting ready for a team coming off of, well, not just a good weekend, but a good couple of months in the Bismarck Bobcats, who I think it's eight games in a row, and they've won 13 of their last 16, the only team to beat them in the middle of that stretch. Minotauros for 3 games over the holiday break at Christmas.
Yeah, it's been a good run for the Bobcats, and after that rocky weekend for the Toros, where John Emmons again plays the hero late-game heroics, but then four guys and head coach Cody Campbell went off to Pittsburgh for the Top Prospects Tournament. Lettinen, Kettinen, Jockins, and Stahowiak. Lettinen had an assist for Team Central, who became the first team ever at the tournament not to give up a goal the entire time. So kudos to head coach Cody Campbell on that. But
I suppose it's only fitting that a former goaltender doesn't allow a goal in the tournament, right?
So then those guys, they because of the time of their game on Tuesday, couldn't fly back until Wednesday. Same thing, I believe, for Bismarck guys as well. So they flew back on Wednesday. They got back to their teams yesterday for the first time in practice, and then jumping right back into it. So it'll be an interesting storyline to keep an eye on how well they handle the fatigue.
Yeah, certainly a big challenge, but as we've kind of alluded to before, the number of players that go is dependent on your standings, in the Central Division. And I think if you're the Toros, you're a little bit happy that you're playing the second-place team. It's not like you're playing, Austin from a couple weeks ago that's in that 5th spot that suddenly
didn't send as many guys.
Right. So you kind of have equal footing on that front, but again, I don't think equal footing would be the right term here if you want to be completely honest about it. Out of the 2 teams coming into this game tonight, there's been one that's been better than the other in the month of January and early February. It has not been the Toros. Bismarck has been on a tear, and this is going to be a tough matchup.
No, I think this might be the first time all season that we talk about the other team coming in hotter than the Toros right now. You mentioned it, the Toros lost 6-4 on Friday, get the 5-4 win on Saturday over St. Cloud. Jockins and Kettinen each with 2 points on Friday. O'Hannison and Stacks with 2 each on Saturday. But again, it's John Emmons getting the Toros going with a late goal to pull the Toros within 1. Lettinen gets the game tire in the final 20 seconds, and then Emmons again finds the winner in OT.
Yeah, and a good character win. And you even go back to that Friday night game where the Toros jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. A pair of Ryland Jockham's goals, by the way. You kind of feel like it hasn't been often that the Toros have given up 4, 5, 6 goals in a hockey game. They still scored 4. Chalk that up to just one of those where each goaltender couldn't stop a beach ball that night. Sometimes that just happens. And unfortunately for the Toros, kind of continues that streak, though, right now. 7 of their last 9, they've given up the first goal of the hockey game. Oddly enough, though, the game in which they scored first, they lost. In the game in which they gave up the first goal, they won on Saturday.
Let's take a look at what that all meant for the Central Division. A quick look at the Central Division standings. The Toros still atop the division with 61 points. Bobcats, as you mentioned, in second with 54. Aberdeen, St. Cloud holding the last 2 playoff spots. Austin starting to fall farther and farther back, just 5 points back. In fact, we were looking at it. The Toros if you're into it, the magic number for the Toros is 11 Toro wins or Bruins losses. So the Toros inching closer, despite having maybe their worst stretch, just 6-4 over the last 10, to clinching a playoff spot.
Well, and you talk about inching closer as well. When we finished the holiday break, I believe it was a 13-point spread between first and second place in the division. It is now down to 7 based on the red-hot play of the Toros. But the fact is, when your biggest swoon is in the month of January and you're still maintaining
you're 6-4.
Yeah, a 2-weekend advantage, so to speak. But things could obviously change dramatically. The one team that's chasing you is the opponent you have tonight.
Certainly. Let's look at how those teams match up, a peek at the Noodles numbers. You can see right there, Toros offense still clicking along, over 3.5 goals a game while allowing just 2.2. That number does creep up. It was down right around 2 before last weekend, but giving up 10 goals in a weekend will do that. Then you look at Bismarck, still impressive, not quite as dramatic as the Toros as far as the gap, 3.154, 2.43 against.
Well, and you look at what's kind of the key to success for both of these teams and why are they atop the Central Division. It's not so much their goal production, although 3.5 to 3 goals a game, that'll serve just fine no matter where you're playing. But it's the ability to limit opportunities. The only 2 teams in the Central Division to have given up less than 100 goals against, would imagine, unless we have a crazy goaltending duel, which is actually somewhat maybe probable, depending on all of these goaltenders this weekend. But one, if not, if it's a scary one for Minot, both of these teams will be in the double digits before too long. But, you look at power play percentages. The Toros, top 10 in the league, sitting right at number 10, 20%. They've been good. They've had 4 power play goals in their last 3 games. On the other side, Bismarck, 14th, very middling, which is, again, the conversation we've talked about. Both these teams do not need special teams in order to be productive. The one that they have needed, 1st and 8th, respectively, for the Toros and Bismarck Bobcats in terms of penalty kills. So they stave off defensively, they score enough at 5-on-5, and hey, they'll tack on a special teams goal here or there.
Well, when you talk about the only 2 teams to give up fewer than 100 goals so far on the season in the division, penalty kill, a huge part of that for both clubs. Let's look at the Minotauros Booster Club players to watch. I'm going with Nicholas Kettinen. I went with him last weekend, too, as he was coming back from illness. Went off to top prospects. Again, he was sick. He played a couple of games in St. Cloud, had to travel, and I think he's been a huge key for the Toros. When he's going well, the Toros are going well. So hopefully, the fatigue of everything of late doesn't catch up to him and he can have himself a strong weekend.
Well, the fact that he paced the Toros with 3 points last weekend quietly, and the ability for him, like you said, to kind of go through all that and jump back in the lineup, not miss a beat, I think that just kind of speaks to the consistency that he brings as a player. He's not a flashy player by any means. He's not somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, we need to keep eyes on him. But that's exactly what works into his game, is he just quietly creates plays. On the other side, somebody also in the assist column, but scoring goals last weekend, Rylan Jockham's 2 goals, 4 shots on Friday. He's only been held off the score sheet once during an entire weekend, one time since North Iowa in mid-November. That's 9 weekends, 19 games. He's only had 1 weekend out of those 9 that he hasn't tallied a point. I don't think we talk about him enough, even though he also was in the same Central Division top prospects.
Yeah, and crazy to think that the 1 weekend he didn't put up a point was a North Iowa weekend. But, Jockham's 2 goals last weekend was great to see. I actually, fans who watched that Friday game, I talked to him during the first intermission. I gave him a hard time. He had only had 1 goal all season going in. He's been putting up assists like crazy. And I was teasing him, did you get a new stick? And he actually didn't get a new stick, but he did change his tape job. So superstition being what it is among athletes, I'm sure we're going to see that tape job the rest of the year.
Very quickly, what's interesting, you talk about just his string in general, besides the first 10 games where, of course, he was still finding his footing, I think it's only 1 other time he's not scored or gotten a point at all in 2 consecutive games, and it was a 3-game string in October. So he's been pretty good.
That'll bring us to our home key group keys to the game, and Noah, I'll let you kick this one off.
Yeah, my first key is free flow. We've talked about how do the Toros find success, especially when they were down in Bismarck over the holiday break. It's all about the transition and the breakouts. The one thing that made Minot really successful in that game, even though they didn't score until the middle of the second period, they were creating offense because they weren't spending time in the D zone. Transition, cycles through the neutral zone, odd man rushes, have to get back to that. When the game gets bogged down, it does not usually favor the Toros.
and I'm going to call an audible here. Noah, I had a different one than what I'm going to go with. Since it's the home key group keys of the game, I'm going to talk about the man in the mask, a fancy new mask for Brady James, brought to you by Home Key Group. You can actually check out, they did the custom paint job themselves. They've got their logo on the back plate, but we talked about it earlier. Toros gave up 10 goals last weekend. That can't be the case moving forward. Toros need to get back to holding opponents to that 1 or 2 a game, and I think Brady James with his new bucket will be primed to do that if he gets the go tonight.
Yeah, and one of the few teams that have found success with high-scoring games against the Toros as well. My final thought here on our combo pick, fun on a Friday. Stop losing on night number 1. 3 of the last 4 Fridays have been losses for the Toros, 2 of them coming in this building. It's got to change against a team that's won 8 in a row.
Yeah, you can't sweep a weekend if you lose on night 1. So if we're going to get back to that, Toros got to get the win here tonight instead of having to try and salvage points tomorrow. That brings us to our 4 Bears Casino and Lodge over and unders. You can play along with these in the Toros Hockey mobile app. Noah, I'll let you guess along. Toros first period goals, we set the number at 0.5.
I hope it's the over, and I would like it to be the first one. That would be good.
Toros total saves by their goaltenders, 29.5, whether it's Lucas or Brady. Will the Toros goaltenders make more than 29.5?
I'm going to go with under just for the fact that I don't think it's going to be a high shot volume type of game. It feels like it's going to be tightly contested. And at the same time, they have been high scoring games as of recent for most of them, so that could be a factor. But I don't know that we're maybe even going to get to 30 shots against for the Toros.
And a new one for fans who have been playing a long time, total special teams goal. This is combined for both teams. We talked about the penalty kills being good, 1.5. You think we'll see 2 or more special teams goals?
The statistics say no, but against these 2 teams, I'm going to go with the over. We've had some pretty high power play special teams S-type games. You go back to the holiday break, that chaos. So yeah. I think we're going to see the over on that one.
Yeah, if you get a bunch of chances, if the penalty kill percentage might still be good if you're having to kill 6 or 7 penalties in the game.
Yeah, the Toros are a much more penalized team. It's 600 and some penalties compared to like 490 for the Bobcats, though, so important to be disciplined as well.
Last thing for you before we go here on the Farmers Union pregame show, the McDonald's Toros Trivia. Gave you guys an easy one tonight. Which current Toro has been on the roster the longest? Your options, Trevor Stahoyak, Kobe Wook, Weston Knox, Adam Mahler. So get your guess in. I'm not even going to let you guess.
Yeah.
I know you know the answer. There's probably a banner right here on the front of the press box. That would be a pretty good tip. But that'll do it for the Farmers Union pregame show. Make sure you get your guesses in the Toros Hockey mobile app. We're going to turn it over to Josh for tonight's introductions.
Good evening, Toro fans. The Minot Minotauros welcome you to the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena for tonight's matchup between the Bismarck Bobcats and your Minot Minotauros. Are you ready for some Minotauros hockey?
Do not fear the howling winds. Fear the creature that dwells in the shadow, lurking, waiting. For when the darkness deepens and the cold embraces, it is then you should fear the Minotaur.
Now it's time to meet your SRT Communications Toros starting lineup. In goal from Beaconsfield, Quebec, number number 33, Brady James. On defense from Andover, Minnesota, number 44, Weston Knox. On defense from Ancaster, Ontario, number 42, Adam Mahler. At left wing from Traverse City, Michigan, number 11, Will Dawson. At center from Sewickley, Pennsylvania, number 19, Nicholas Zuwecki. At right wing from Kingston, Ontario, number 27, Chad Muller. Tonight's Culver's captains are Declan and Elliot Meyer. Toros fans, we ask that you please rise as you are able as the Minot Air Force Base Color Guard presents our nation's colors.
Toros and Bobcats matching up once again. The last time these two teams met was over the holiday break, New Year's Eve. That is the last time any team has gotten a chance to beat these Bismarck Bobcats in their last 16 games. Winners of 13 of their last 16. They had a 5-game win streak before that time, but the Toros took 3 straight, and they've won 8 since. And the month of January on the other side for the boys in red has not exactly been necessarily as kind as the first 3 months of the season. My name is Noah Grant, your color commentator, alongside Ken Oda this evening. We are 40 seconds away from puck drop here on a Friday night in the Magic City. Tomorrow night's matchup down in the state's capital, but it's all about the 60 minutes here tonight. The Toros looking to snap an 8-game win streak for the Bismarck Bobcats.
Yeah, Noah, good to be alongside, almost as always. I guess I can't say as always anymore.
Good to have you back.
Yep. Happy to be back on the call. Toros and Bobcats, 1 and 2 in the division. I was talking about it earlier this week with a friend. I genuinely don't remember a time where both these teams were at the top of the standings this late into the season before.
Yeah.
And I think that adds an extra level of import to these games.
Yeah, 7-point spread between first and second place.
Puck ahead. Dawson couldn't get there in time, and we have a quick whistle offsides brought to you by our friends at Pinnacle Express. Just 6 seconds in for that one.
Yeah, the Toros looking to start a win streak of their own. They've lost 3 of the past 4 Friday nights, 2 of those in this building. They did get a victory on Saturday in St. Cloud, however. A great come-from-behind contest. 5-4 was the final in that one.
Puck along. This is Knox. Walks in. Wires that. Hits a leg. Caroms to the near side. Dawson has trouble. Muller finds it. Plays back to Knox. Knox looking for a lane. He'll just chip it deep into the corner. Muller lets it roll. He was trying to get it to kick to the front. Good keep by Knox. Looks to leave for Muller. Turnaround try. Stop made by Peck, who holds on for a whistle.
First shot of the contest for either club, and the Toros have the better of the season series so far. It's been 3 victories, a regulation loss, and an overtime loss for these Toros. Could be relatively 500, so to speak, should the Bobcats get a victory tonight, or the Toros could extend it to a 4-2 margin, as it could be a rubber match or not, so to speak. These teams will see each other quite a bit down the stretch, however, though.
Trevor Stahoyak lining up on the left wing here. And that makes it official as the puck is dropped. Career game 200 for Trevor Stahoyak, the first Toro ever to play 200 contests in cream and cardinal. Congrats to him. Puck to the far side. Jockums had trouble. I thought Jockums got that with his stick first, but they rule it a hand pass.
Trevor Stahoyak for his 200th game as a Minot Minotauro.
Ken, and you talk about the intrigue of that. To give fans some perspective, this is your 12th season with the program, and that's almost 1/3 of your entire time here in Minot.
If I was looking at it, I've done just a little bit over 700 games for the Toros, so he's been in on a good chunk of that. This is thrown towards the front, blocked off. Out to neutral, Fandel dumps it in. Along to the near side. Cronin keeps it. Cronin, good poke by Emmons, gets that out to neutral. Dumped right back in, around to the near side. Woogie works it ahead. Taken away, this is Toth. Toth in, wires, save made by Brady James. Follow-up try, a good stick by Funtek. Breaks it up, it's poked to the near side. Casey. Up ice it goes. Lettinen finds it, hands to O'Hannison. Shot, save made as O'Hannison was falling down. He still was able to pull the trigger. Near side, Toth. Chip to the far side. Carried in by Bourgault. He has trouble, but gets help from Toth. Toth looks up top for Nick Bear, whose shot takes a deflection, and Brady James able to make the save from his butt.
Yeah, he ended up getting knocked over by the forward in front inadvertently.
Yes.
A couple of really good chances on either end. The Bobcats, Toth had a very good look, blocker save, and then you mentioned Jack O'Hannison.
This is Kren into the zone, watched by Gibbs. Shot paddled up off the glass by Brady James, whose water bottle is inside the net.
Guessing it maybe popped off over top, and then he ended up putting it inside the cage.
James has to throw it back to the near side. Gets help from Kettinen. Kettinen ahead for Small. Small into the zone. They work down low out front for Bears. Shot blocked up off the glass.
Good pace to this hockey game to start. It's been back and forth, good transitional play as that one looks like it might just make it for a Minot's Finest Collision Center icing, and yes, it will. Ken, you also talked about Trevor Stahowiak. We had an interesting discussion when we were getting ready to do the pregame show. There are two players who have essentially played the longest with Trevor Stahowiak, maybe even three, I suppose, if you throw Nikolai Charchenko in there, but the other two both have the same first name. Colby Joseph and Colby Vuk are your other two that have played the longest. Colby Vuk is the leader. I believe it's 134 games. Colby Joseph had 115. It's a lot of hockey.
Toros win the draw. Across Knox into the middle. Quick shot for Spencer is blocked off by Kren.
Besides Colby Vuk, though, the other interesting caveat we had to that as well as there's only one other player who has technically played a game in 3 separate seasons with Trevor Stahowiak.
Sorry, Muller in front. He just missed Bear. Turns into a 3-on-1 the wrong way. Across for Hunter. Shot partially blocked by Colby Volk and gloved and held by Brady James. And I'll let you finish your thought there, Noah.
A very strong save there. First, the initial look for the Toros, just trying to go back door. You know what? Maybe I won't finish my thought. Maybe I'll see if anybody can guess it in any of our chats on the Facebook or YouTube chat. Who is the only other player to play, as we get a look at Stephen Peck, by the way, in the net-minding department, 14-5-1, a 9-12, and a 2.27 goals against. But who is the only other player who has technically played a game in at least 3 seasons with Trevor Stahowiak besides Colby Vuk? The answer may surprise you.
And that's as a Toro. I know there's probably plenty of guys growing up playing youth hockey that went through the various age groups together, but we're just talking about as a Toro.
Yeah, I guess if you want to be technical about that, maybe Chase LaPinta might fit the bill. I don't know if he and Colby ever crossed paths, but a couple of Texas boys.
Draw will be
just outside of the Toro bench. 15:37 left in this one. Shots 4-3 in favor of the visitors. Still scoreless.
puck dumped in. Far side, big collision, and it's floated out to neutral.
Big hit there on Adam Mahler, and
a shot that went in for the Cats. And you talked about it on the Farmers Union pregame show, Noah. Toros needed to avoid giving up the first, but it's Kohanski who breaks through.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 52 seconds into this one.
And a difficult turnover. Adam Mahler got hit right at neutral, and the Toros weren't able to cross the red and get the puck deep, and it all leads to a turnover, a 2-on-1. Not sure if the initial shot went in or if it was poked in on the rebound. just like that, Toros trail 1-0.
Draw one back by the Bobcats. Rafalski's dumping. Karams to the far corner. Gibbs turns it over up the wall. Kohanski leaves it into the corner. Play to the middle of the ice broken up. And now Funtek trying to work up ice. Long shot gloved and held by Peck with Funtek driving the net. It was O'Hannison who threw that right at Peck's face.
Yes, good simple save from Peck there. Speaking of Jack O'Hannison, that was our first guess from the question I posed earlier. That is not the answer, unfortunately, but not a bad guess. Of course, you had Nick and Jack, so you can see where you'd also smart to just write O'Hannison. I mean, that's a sneaky little play. But nope. I suppose maybe we'll give the answer right after maybe our Northern Century Salute media timeout. The question was, who is the only other player besides Colby Vuk to play at least a game for the Toros over 3 seasons with Trevor Stahowiak, who's in his 200th contest as a Toro tonight, as we're going to get a face-off to the blocker side of Brady James, who despite getting beat for the first goal of this hockey game, 17 wins on the season, a 2-1-3 goals against, and a 9-12 save percentage for him.
Draw will be as we get another look at that goal. It went bar down. I still don't know if the initial shot went in, but
it was a great initial shot. Glove side.
Either way, the rebound definitely was poked home. I guess I should have looked closer at the replay. The goal was credited to Kohanski. I'm not sure if he was the initial shooter or tucked home the rebound. Dunnitz looks across. Good stick by Funtek.
Brady James without his stick got caught in the initial tie-up. Has a player stick, a defenseman right now. That's Jordan Gibbs' twig.
Tip kicked away. It's interesting to me. That's definitely against the rules, as Funtek just picked up.
It happens quite a bit, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
one that the referees let go as Peterson's shot is gloved and held, but you can't have 2 sticks. That is a penalty.
Now he could take his
He
stick.
can drop his, pick up the goaltender's, give it to the goaltender, then go get his again.
Or he can take his stick and push the goaltender's stick towards him.
He just can't pick both up.
Yep. And he also can't, like if the stick was, for example, if it was at the blue line, he couldn't push it all the way back in the crease. It's got to be like a little nudge, because if you go too far, officials take exception to that as well, too. As if hockey wasn't confusing enough.
I will say it's much less confusing for me now sitting up here and commentating than it was when I was playing goal.
Yeah, in real time.
Which is probably the most straightforward job on the ice. This is near side. Kopetsky leaves it down low. Bear battling there. Ty James steps in. James hands up ice to Spencer. Spencer looking for help. Finds Ty James across, and James just couldn't hold on. It comes back to the Toros, though. This is Bear into the zone. Bear forced wide on his backhand. Now he turns it in front. Small tipped it towards the cage, but it didn't go. Cats come back the other way. Kren into the middle, forced wide, throws it towards the front. Chachet to the far wall by Brady James. Fandel fanned on the shot on the far side, and now the players dig along the end wall. Bear won the battle, but lost the war. Now the Cats continue to control. Peterson with a shot that skips wide. Dahl and Bear. Dahl wins the battle. Dahl up top for Fandel. Shot is tipped at the side of the net by Kren in behind. Toros getting outshot 9-4 here early and trail 1-0 as Spencer takes this away. Throws for Small. Small tries to flick it deep into the zone. Not so subtle interference play there by Evan Hunter, but puck goes the other way. Tip play off the end wall, and Hunter makes it 2-0 Bobcats.
Yeah, and just some sloppy play from the Toros. Ever since they gave up that first goal, the wheels have kind of come off the bus right now, and with 12:30 left in the first period, outshot by 7 already. Just a weird carom off the end wall. Everybody gets caught puck watching, and it's the weak side winger, Will Dawson, trying to come back. Nick Sawecki lost his man in the middle of the ice.
And Dawson was just to the wrong side of the guy coming back.
Well, and that's kind of the caveat, though. It's not supposed to be his guy.
It's not his guy, yeah. This is chipped up the wall. Stahoyak trying to get help from Emmons. Emmons put down hard on the far wall, and puck flipped out to neutral. Funtek. That's tipped up and out of play.
I suppose since we haven't seen many other answers, I'll just tell you, as we mentioned, the only other player besides Colby Vuk to play at least a game for the Toros in parts of 3 seasons with Trevor Stahoyak is actually Nick Sawecki. Nick Sawecki, of course, this is second full season with the Toros, but he had 1 game as an AP player 2.5 years ago. So by proxy, he's the only other player that has seen at least a game over the course of those 3 seasons. Fortunately, was on the wrong side of that goal against there.
Dumped in on the far side. Bear after it.
Toros going on the power play.
Toros will go on the power play.
Yeah, it was Trevor Stahoyak who was trying to drive through, and physical play by the captain.
Chase Beacom.
Yeah, and that's where Beacom trying to finish his hit, but then kind of pile drived him down to the ice. Just unnecessary on the entry. And if you're the Toros right now, if you're looking for any sort of life, this is, I hope you're not looking for life.
Hopefully not looking for lice, yeah.
But if you're looking for a little bit of life here, and we joke a little bit about early must-haves, but this First Western Bank and Trust power play almost feels like one where you've got to create something, whether it's a goal or at least some sort of momentum. You've got to get back in the driver's seat a little bit here. These Toros, 10th in the NHL, 20% is the power play. 8th in the league is an 84.2% kill for the Bismarck Bobcats.
Far side, Toros control. This is Muller. Onto the near side, up top for Jockums. Jockums back to Muller. Muller walks in, shot blocked. Comes to the far side. Cats find it first, ring it to the near side. It gets by at the blue line, and the Toros will retreat all the way back to their own zone.
37 tallies on 185 tries this season. 4 power play goals in the last 3 games for the Toros.
Hannison spins that out for Kettinen. Kettinen leaves it up for Lettinen. Lettinen drops for O'Hannison. Back to Lettinen. Up top, Jockums. Jockums comes to the near side, and Muller. Muller wires. That goes off the glass. Good job by Lettinen to settle it down. Looks up top. Jockums comes across for Muller. Muller wanting to shoot. Then he leaves up top for Lettinen. Lettinen drops to the side of the net. In front for O'Hannison. Pass handcuffed him and gets cleared.
Yeah, that initial play in the middle of the ice, you'd almost like to see the Toros just shoot that puck instead of deferring. I know you're on the power play trying to look for the perfect play. .35 seconds left for the Toros to set up.
Toros gain the line, far side, Stahoyak. Banks to the near side. Casey throws it back around to the far. Mahler gets there, touches down the wall for Stacks. Stacks mishandles. And the Cats will go the other way, attacking shorthanded. Why not? This is Bourgault. Bourgault in behind the net. Guides it back to an empty point. The Cats are just playing keep away. Just 10 seconds left on the First Western Bank and Trust power play.
And what did we talk about in the pregame show, Ken? My key was transitional play and free-flowing offense. I mean, when the Toros are struggling to get out of their own zone, I mean, go figure. Things don't get easy on the offensive side.
D to D, this is Funtek back across to Gibbs. Gibbs with a shot blocked in front by traffic and hacked down the ice. They'll say no icing. This will be an offside play.
I'm kind of surprised they blew that down because Engel never touched the puck.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we have our Northern Century salute.
All right, fans, it is time for the Northern Century Salute. Today we salute Senior Airman Jalen Thomas. Senior Airman Thomas has been in the Air Force for 3 years and calling Minot Air Force Base home for the past 2. He and his family and friends enjoy spending time together and participating at various seasonal Minot activities. He is currently preparing and studying to test for the rank of Staff Sergeant. He takes pride in volunteering and helping airmen at the 5th Medical Group. He is the 5th Medical Group's Vice President of the Airmen's Council, Vice President of the Booster Club,
Is he here?
drug driving. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Airman Jalen Thomas.
Toros trail 2-0 on the scoreboard. 9:19 left in this first period. Toros are not the only game going on in the Central, of course, right now. St. Cloud leads Austin 1-0 at the start of period number 2, and 2-1. Aberdeen leads after 1 period of play against North Iowa in Aberdeen.
Nick Bear tried to dump that in, but Small blocked it. It carried him all the way down into the Bobcat end. Small up on the pressure. Knox pinching down the wall, help from Small. They've got Spencer there as well, but it's out to neutral for Colby Bear of the Toros. Nice move to gain the line on the far side. Shot save made. Rebound into the corner. Ty James got his own rebound, then got tripped up. And an apparently legal play. This is Spencer handing off. Bear in front. Small's one-timer's partially blocked. Spencer couldn't gather it in. Engel and Spencer exchange some jabs. Race the other way. Kohanski and Knox. Knox wins the battle. Hands to Bear. Bear finds Spencer. Spence works it deep into the Bobcat zone. Peterson. Bobcats very aggressive with their interference plays after dump-ins.
Well, and unfortunately, you kind of hate to say it, but the way the Toros' first power play went,
why not? This is Muller with his shot soaked up by Peck. No rebound given.
good little look there, but again, just one and dones, no second chance opportunities. Guys aren't able to get to the crease quick enough, aren't able to establish enough zone time as well to create some screens in front, but I like this shot selection through a screen. Fortunately, it was a logo seeker right in the middle of the chest. Toros still in a 2-goal deficit. Shots in the first period, 11-7 now in favor of the Cats.
50-50 draw controlled by the Bobcats. Floated out to the Toro zone. Jochums plays it up the far wall, has trouble. Nick Zwiecki there to help. I was in Nick Zwiecki's hometown on Monday at about 3 in the morning.
In Sewickley.
Yes, this is a shot from Muller. That one's paddled up, just barely catches the glass. Zwiecki there to help. Thrown in front, one-timer for Dawson, doesn't go, but a nice play for the Toros out of the corner. Big collision on the far side. That would have been a hand pass if anyone but the Bobcats or Chad Muller had played, and now Muller with another hit. And now Muller's trapped in the zone, does well to get back on side, but the Toros had to wait. I went out to Pittsburgh for the start of Top Prospects just to be at the league meetings, and my Lyft driver took me through Zwickly on my way to the airport at 3 a.m. on Monday. This is Stahowiak gathering. Backhand try goes off the outside of the cage. Plays back to the point. Gibbs has trouble. Stahowiak steps in as well, but the puck caroms out to neutral. They've got Toth. Will catch a carom off the wall. Can't get around Funtek, but he rings it to the far side. Nick Bear has it there. Plays down into the corner. Good job by Stahowiak to free that puck up, but he couldn't quite hold on. And now a long shot finds the glass. Down into the corner. Gibbs rings to the far side. Trevor Stahowiak has to wait for it to get to him, and now we'll just bank it out to neutral. Cats dump it right back in, but it's onto the tape of Gibbs, who hands across to Funtek. Toros are mid-change, so the Toros defense play a little keep away, and now they're up ice for Kettinen. Kettinen into the zone, leaves off for O'Hannison, comes back across for Lettinen. The pass was off the mark. Lettinen settles it down, shot save made, rebound was there, but O'Hannison was not.
And I like the shot selection too. You don't defer, you put a puck on net through a screen. Wasn't exactly a real threatening shot, but still a really difficult save that causes a rebound because it's through traffic. Good things happen when you shoot the puck.
low into the far side. So especially on that stick side, no way the goaltender was getting his glove to that. Knox gloves it out in midair. Tries to hand it to Kettinen, but Kettinen's tied up by Beacom.
Curious to see what Weston Knox can do tonight. The last time, as that puck goes out, a play off the dasher in front of the Bobcats bench. The last time these two teams met, Weston Knox had the game winner. Mosquito Joe, past of the game tonight is Patrick Johnson. I like this pick, the longtime captain. Has 4 points against the Toros in 5 contests, 3 goals and an assist. Has been a steady player. There's no doubt about that. In fact, he ranks 5th in team scoring with 27 points, 14 goals, 13 assists. Just under a .7 points per game clip, not too shabby.
Draw will be to the left of Peck.
Also a recent Robert Morris commit, by the way, we should add.
This one jammed out to neutral. Clear blocked, still an offside play for the Toros. Puck thrown to the near side. Bouncing puck along the blue line. Cronin into the zone. Carries down low, Cronin. Leaves it in the corner. Jammed up the wall. Spencer ahead. Puck pinballs around. Bear bowls his way into the zone. Small gloves down to the stick. That puck is bouncing like crazy. I know we keep them in the freezer. That one wouldn't have you believing that though. Near side, this is Bear. Hands off Spencer. Spencer makes a move. Hands up for Small. Small looking back across. The pass was behind Spencer.
That's one of those, again, where, you know, maybe in a 0-0 hockey game you try to set up that play, but sometimes I'd like to see guys there maybe just, as that one's going to go for a very late Minot's Finest Collision Center icing, I'd like to see guys just maybe kind of lean in, drive into the defender, and try to take a puck to the house in the front of the net. I mean, on the backhand as well, too, it's not the easiest save in the world for a goaltender. It's better than not getting a chance at all on net. And I know what the play you're trying to set up.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, even if you're driving on your backhand there, you can shoot your puck far side so that the weak side player crashing the crease maybe gets a rebound if it doesn't go in. You can maybe pass it back door on your backhand, or you get a shot off. You create options, but as soon as you turn your body and open back up, everybody knows where the play's going unless you drop it behind, which unless the trailer's talking to you, you don't know he's behind you anyway. So again, little things in a 2-0 hockey game that can make the difference between making it a 1-goal contest.
Dawson banks back to the point. D to D across for Knox. Knox tip. Save made by the captain, Patrick Johnson, in the slot before it ever got through to the goaltender. It was Zwecky with the good tip in the slot.
I like that play. Just a simple little float. Didn't get through, but good idea.
Toros flick this down the ice. They'll wave off icing. It wouldn't have got there anyway.
Kind of feels like the Toros could really use one heading into the first intermission.
After the Bobcats seized that bit of momentum and scored their second, until that little dump in, it had been all Toros. The Toros were trailing in shots 11-4. The Toros then took the next 6 shots of the game until the Cats break that streak. So
yeah, they've certainly done a much better job creating offense and also limiting the transitional play. That's what really burned the Toros early on in this contest. Too many odd man rushes against, too much time in your D zone when you're trying to recover and scramble. But the only thing that really matters is the goose egg up on the board right now for the Toros. They'd like to maybe pop at least one in the final 3.5.
Cats control the draw in the offensive zone. This is roll. Nope. It's not roll-offs. It was Kim. Big collision on the far side. Dumped back in. Brady James throws it to the near side. Trevor Stahoyak ahead for Emmons. Emmons couldn't chase it down, however. It's picked up by roll-offs for real this time. Across for Hunter. Hunter tries to give it back to him. It's broken up, but roll-offs chases it down in the corner. Leaves for Hunter at the half wall. Down in the corner, Gunitz goes to the near side. Nick Bear at the point, looks into the middle. Beacom stepped into. Trevor Stahoyak able to take it away and jam it up the ice. Nick Bear back on it. Wheels around to the near side.
Toros I think they're going to be
Yep,
short.
they're going to be short-handed. Letnin's going to get called for the trip. And the Toros will go to the Papa John's penalty kill.
Yeah, not exactly the most smart penalty with 2:16 left. I mean, coming across the ice, I thought he was going to finish his hit. Instead, it was all stick infraction. Get a look at it on the replay. Again, closing the gap really well, and then just two hands him in the legs. And that's where you got to keep your feet moving, try to finish the play a little bit, or maybe bring some physicality. But nonetheless, this is a big penalty kill for the Toros, who do rank first in the entire league. 88.4%, a power play on the other side, 14th, 18.4%, 32 successful conversions. This their 175th time on the man advantage.
Toros win the draw and send it all the way down the ice. Toros have, despite the best penalty kill, only 2 shorthanded goals for on the season. And they both came early in the season.
Yeah, ranks 5th in the Central Division. Meanwhile,
Kim up top with a shot that's blocked. It comes to Peterson.
Cats have given up 4, which is tied for second best in the division.
Found by Spencer and then cleared. And certainly, I think a lack of shorthanded goals is not indicative of a poor penalty kill. Obviously, the rating tells you how good the Toros' kill has been.
Well, if you like a comparison, the leader in the Central, St. Cloud, with 7.
Into the zone. Cronin looks across. That missed the intended target, but the Cats chase it down. Look back across for Hunter. Hunter finds Rafalski. Rafalski to the near side. Toth. Toth shot blocked by Funtek. Looks across. They drop it down low. Tip play doesn't go. A good stick by Funtek. Breaks it up. Up top, Rafalski throws across. Back into the middle, Rafalski tries to hand back to Toth, who does do a good job to keep it, but a better job by Small to break it up at the blue line. And no, I think perhaps some of the penalty kill success is because of the lack of shorthanded goals. I think they make good responsible plays, and instead of maybe overextending your kill,
not afraid
trying to rush up the ice, you just take that puck away right there and chip it out to neutral, and that's an offside play for a whistle with just 10 seconds left to kill.
Yeah, not afraid, though, to be aggressive, though. We've seen guys like Ian Spencer, for example, create opportunities on the forecheck as well. So, but it's all about calculated risk, right? When do you step up? When do you stay back? For the Toros, they would like to just survive the next 26.5 seconds and get into the first intermission.
10 of which the Toros will be shorthanded. Kettinen and O'Hannison out to finish the kill. They don't usually kill, but with Lettinen in the box, Cody Campbell essentially trying to get this line out to finish the period. Cats, however, eventually control the draw, dump it in on the near side. Kopetsky leaves it in behind. Dahl stepped into. Toros come back to full strength. Arm is up for icing. I thought the Bobcats were trying to throw that back to the point. It's eventually waved off the last second, then Kettinen takes it away. 2 seconds, 1, and that'll do it for the period. Toros trail by a pair after 1. I've got other duties. It's all you know for the intermission.
Yeah, an unfortunate result for the first 20 minutes of regulation. Shots 12-10 in favor of the Bobcats, who struck twice at the 7:28 mark and 4:51 mark. Cade Kohanski with his 8th of the season from Tommy Cronin, and then Evan Hunter's 14th from the captain, Patrick Johnson, and Alexander Kim's first point as a Bismarck Bobcat. Meanwhile, other scores around the Central. 1-0. The Norsemen lead halfway through that hockey game in St. Cloud against Austin. Shots 12-7 in favor of the Bruins. Michael Coleman, the only goal scorer in that one. And then, getting ready to start period number 2. Aberdeen leads 2-1 against North Iowa. Bulgakov, Drew Mackey, the goal scorers for the Wings. Jack Severson gets one back for the Bulls, who are outshot 13-9. Women's college hockey news. Let's take a look at some scores here. Specifically in the WCHA, Ohio State 3-0 over Mankato. Wisconsin 10-0 over Bemidji. The Gophers, a narrow 1-0 victory over St. Cloud. And Duluth 4-1 over the St. Thomas Tommies. On the men's side, a lot of hockey to get to. Big Ten action. Gophers beat Penn State 3-0. Michigan State 5-1 over the Wolverines. That Spartans team is good. Notre Dame 2-0 over Wisconsin. That one halfway through that hockey game. In the CCHA, Bemidji over Northern Michigan. Looks like it should be a final. Michigan Tech over Michigan State 2-1 with a minute and a half left in that hockey game. Bowling Green 5-3. They lead Lake Superior with under 5 to go. Nick O'Hannison unfortunately injured for the time being, so he is out for the foreseeable future. Seeing if anything in the ECAC pops out. St. Lawrence 3-1 over Quinnipiac. Keep an eye on that one if you're a Bobcats fan, or if you're not a Bobcats fan, well, I suppose you could look as well too. That would be a big upset. In fact, I wonder if I can find a way here quickly. I'm going to try to pull up the pairwise here. It would be a very interesting one. Quinnipiac at 7 right now. Meanwhile, St. Lawrence at 55. Yikes. That could be a real interesting one to keep an eye on. Hockey East, Maine leads Providence. BC and BU both preparing for victories. In the NCHC, St. Cloud 5-2 over Miami. That score will hold. Western Michigan 4-1 over Omaha, who's been really up and down. Both those teams have been kind of up and down this season. St. Thomas leads Augustana in non-conference play. And in the National Hockey League, we've got 3 games going on right now. The Wild lead 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Rangers up 2-1 over the Hawks. That one at the tail end of period number 1. And Anaheim will play host to the Edmonton Oilers, who are red hot. They had their 16-game winning streak snapped in the last game that they played, a 3-1 final against the Vegas Golden Knights. But other than that, it's been pretty good. We will send it out to commercial break here on the Minotauros Network.
And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
As far as what Plains Egg has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here, very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsegg.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
Life is for living, and at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Down on the bench for the Farmers Union intermission interview with Mr. 200 tonight, Trevor Stahowiak. Trevor, it's been a long career here as a Toro. Still plenty of season left, though. What do you love most about being a Toro?
I think, everything we have available to us is pretty unbelievable, but it's really the people here that make everything special.
You're playing your 200th game, as I said. Is there a game that sticks out as your favorite?
No.
What do you think you will miss most about being a Toro when you leave here?
Again, probably just the people that have been involved in my career here.
Obviously, tonight not going the way you guys want here early. What do you have to do different in the final 40 to come back?
Yeah, everyone needs to be a lot better, myself included, and we're going to have a fresh start in this next period.
All right, I'll let you go get ready for the rest of the game. Thanks for taking a minute.
Thank you. It's time for our favorite yearly promotion. We are partnering with Farmers Union Insurance to collect food for those in need in our community.
Make sure you come out to the Pepsi Rink Friday, February 23rd for the 2024 food drive presented by Farmers Union Insurance.
The first 750 fans to bring 3 non-perishable food items or a $10 donation will receive one of these Farmer Union jerseys. The food and donations will go to the Lord's Cupboard of Minot.
Puck drops, 7:35. We will see you there.
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
Keep your child's brain development on track. Talk to your child about the dangers of alcohol use. This message brought to you by the 1st District Health Unit and the Minot Minotauros.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
In life, there's good, better, and the best. The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
The trick to throwing well is knowing where you want the ball to go. Like how the local bankers at First Western Bank and Trust take the time to learn about you and recommend the banking services like online banking or personal loans that keep your goals on target.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options, great rates.
I've been canning my whole life. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Today I finished the raspberry jam.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, here, take it with you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now for my prize collection. Each jar shows the year it was canned. That way I won't forget when I put it in here.
Grandma, what's that?
Oh. Your grandfather and I worked so hard for this. It's our life savings.
In a jar?
Canning is really the best way to preserve anything.
It's true. The way we've always done it isn't always the best way. See how we're changing for the better at Aspire.
Grandma, you can bank from your phone now.
Oh, wow.
Aspire Credit Union. Aspire to more.
Reminder, alcohol is not a rite of passage. Stop normalizing underage alcohol use. This message brought to you by the 1st District Health Unit and the Minot Minotauros.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
Alcohol impacts development of the brain, and you can't buy your child a new brain. Take the pledge and say, "Not in my house." This message brought to you by the 1st District Health Unit and the Minot Minotauros.
At Northwest Tire, we're part of your community, and we want you to be part of our family. We're about more than tires. We're about superior customer service to keep your vehicles and equipment safely rolling down the road. If you'd like to join a company that truly cares for our customers and employees, come work with us and become part of our growing family. Apply at nwtire.com.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
The all-new Emergency Trauma Center, built with your reassurance in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
This is legit. It truly helps.
It was something that progressed and was better every time that I was here.
I mean, it helps everything, my fatigue and my mental health.
No. Oh! Wait! We have an emergency fund!
7.5 minutes away from puck drop for period number 2, and 2 is the magic number. That's what the Toros trail by in this hockey game. Shots 12-10 Bismarck, Evan Hunter, Cade Kohanski, and Patrick Johnson, Alexander Kim, and Tommy Cronin, the assist getters, as both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage, but the Toros trail by a 2 spot. Heading into the middle frame, you listen to Trevor Stahowiak, and I was kind of surprised you were even able to get him out of the locker room for that interview. I imagine
it wasn't easy.
Yeah, I imagine tensions are a little bit higher than usual. It's, I mean, all in all, I mean, the Toros had maybe a good, from about the 12-minute mark to maybe about the 6-minute mark, I thought they were good. But other than that, I mean, kind of a period to forget, unfortunately, if you're Minot. And a lot of it kind of coming from poor transitional play, difficulty getting out of your own zone, difficulty getting plays in deep across the red line and not stymieing the transitional play early on. That has put the Toros in a difficult spot. It's not often, in fact, again, we've said this a lot, but I don't remember the last time the Toros were down by more than 1 goal heading into the second period. This
At
is
home for sure. I know things did not go great last weekend in St. Cloud for stretches, but the Toros eventually able to come back.
Yeah, and you know, it's just got to be better. I think that's kind of the point here. You see guys already getting ready to line up in the tunnel, which not that they don't normally, but I think there's maybe a little bit of extra fire here. Second period has also not been necessarily kind to the Toros in this building. If you want to pinpoint a certain period that has been interesting, but I would be a little surprised if we don't see a little bit of a push from the Toros here. Again, we talk about these two teams separated by 7 points in the standings. When you match up against each other, the potential for a swing is big in either direction potentially. So as we are 5 minutes and change away from puck drop. Other scores around the Central, as we had mentioned. Austin traveling to St. Cloud. It's still 1-0 after 40 minutes of play. Shots 10-4 for the Bruins, who continue that streak of lots of shots, not a lot of goals. So they sit with a goose egg on the board. And then 2-2 is the score. Aberdeen and North Iowa halfway through that hockey game. The Bulls get another. Nolan Greer, his 6th of the season from Charles Ballon. Shots 5-3 Aberdeen for a 17-12 total through the halfway point of the contest. Ken, I guess, as we kind of alluded to, though you were down there near the locker room, I guess, did it feel tense to you, or is it kind of just one of those where over the course of a 60-game season, you didn't play well, you recognize you didn't, and, you know, cooler heads are going to prevail here entering the second?
You know, that is about as frustrated of a group as I have seen. And, you know, with us doing the intermission interviews on the bench on the road now, too, I've been down by the room pretty much, I'd say 90% of the intermissions this season, except for a couple of times when you were down in Bismarck, or a couple of times we had the microphone malfunction, so I wasn't down by the room. But for the most part, every trip I've been down by the room, and every home game I'm down there, both intermissions. And I tell you what, like, just walking by the Trinity training room and seeing 5 or 6 guys, they sit in there. Some of them like to stretch out on the training tables during the intermission instead of sitting in their stalls and whatnot. And no one was talking.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we've had other games where the group's been down on the scoreboard, but they're still joking, laughing around. Like, I don't know if maybe it's because of the splits the last few weekends or what, but, you know, more frustration than I think I've seen from this group in the past.
You know, we talked about might be a good time for the Toros to maybe remedy through this, though, so when you hit playoff time, you're ready for a little bit of adversity should you see it. But certainly the Toros have to find a way to figure things out quickly. 2-0, not an easy task against these Bismarck Bobcats, winners of 8 straight. As we are less than 3 minutes away from puck drop, we'll step aside for 90 seconds and be back here on the Minotauros Network.
Welcome back into the start of period number 2 on the Minotauros Network. Toros trail the Bobcats by a score of 2-0. Fifty-50 draw, eventually kicks to the near side. Beacom, I make that roll-offs. Chips it in, and it's an offside play at the line.
And certainly, you know, no lead is necessarily insurmountable, but the next goal of this hockey game kind of feels like a somewhat must-have. I think if you're the Toros and you want a fighting chance in this one, 3-0 is a tough hole to climb out of.
The 2-goal lead is supposedly the most dangerous lead in hockey.
As you mentioned, though, I don't think any coach would scoff at being up by 2.
Zwiecki left it off to the far side. Muller's shots blocked to make that Dawson. And the Cats go back the other way, 2-on-2. Good stick by Weston Knox. Frees that up. It's chipped down the ice. And that whistle was really early.
And I've never understood that, too, is, you know, both the guys are 2.5 feet away from the puck by the time it crosses the line. Like, at some point, do you just kind of say, well, maybe we let them play hockey?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the consistency factor, but I think those are somewhere as players, you kind of slow burning puck, it barely gets over the line, you're within a couple feet by the time you get there. I don't think any hockey player, unless it's a 1-goal hockey game and you're trying to protect a lead, I don't think any hockey player really gets too concerned about letting that one go.
There's something on the ice.
I've seen people throw Skittles and such on the ice. Not sure if it's that or some sort of paraphernalia like tape or other pieces of equipment.
Thinking it's something that originated on the ice, because usually if it's something that the officials think came over the glass, they'll come to the penalty box and make it known. This is Muller into the zone. Shot save made by Peck. Rebound controlled by the Toros. Zwiecki on the far side leaves it for Muller. Puck around to the near. This one sent down the ice. They wave off icing. Brady James leaves it in the near side. Funtek able to work it up the wall for Muller. A little surprised that Peck is in net for the Bobcats tonight.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around from what we've seen.
Well, not just that, but Peck, I believe, so then I go to confirm, and of course not coming up, that Peck was one of the 2 goaltenders for Team Central.
He certainly played well. He's played well in every game we've seen against these Toros.
It's a long shot through traffic. That goes wide. Emmons plays up top for Kobe Volk. Long shot. Ends up in behind the net.
Puck goes up into the netting, and again, we saw a big hit on that last shift from Chad Muller, and he's had the physical presence again tonight. And this is kind of a game where you're looking for a guy like that. Him, maybe the 4th line, a guy like Nick Zwiecki, for example, maybe guys that bring a little bit more grit and physicality. They might be able to open this hockey game back up for the Toros. He's been noticeable tonight, and sometimes you need that spark when things aren't going well offensively. You're not creating finesse plays. You're not exiting the zone cleanly. Sometimes you just need a little bit of grit.
Actually, to correct myself, he was at Top Prospects. He was on the selects team. I guess what makes the decision moot, it was Clayton Knapp, the other goaltender for the Bobcats that was one of the 2 for Team Central. So both their goaltenders had to travel. This ahead. Lettinen gets it. No, it's O'Hannison in tight with a shot save made. Rebound. Karamsa Jokumzut tries one. That's blocked off by traffic. Rebound to the near side. Bergault has trouble. And then it kicks ahead. It finds him. Bergault working on Kobe Volk, who does well to force the turn. And then it's turned over to Kettinen. Kettinen drops for Jokums. Jokums ahead for Lettinen. Lettinen gains the line. Looks to cut to the middle. It's taken away, and the Cats will turn back the other way. Toth turns his back into Ty James and then dumps it deep. Puck pinballs around it, comes towards the front, no one there. Kettinen finds it. Kettinen to Ohannes, who didn't catch it cleanly. Lettinen gathers it up and rolls it in. Toros are mid-change. This is Beacom on the near side. Goes to the far. Knox steps up, frees that puck up for Bear. Bear tries the near side. Ty James. James ahead. Touched into the zone by Small. Small after it. Spencer there as well. They jam it towards the front. It never got through to Colby Bear. And now Kopetsky runs the other way. Forced wide by Knox. Kopetsky leaves it in the corner. Kren has trouble. Chipped behind Ty James. Takes it away. James ahead for Small. Small stepped into by Beacom, which freed the puck up for Dahl. Dahl leaves it up the wall. Kopetsky dumps it in. It's put into the corner with the paddle by Brady James. Ty James taken to the boards. From his knees, tries to play the puck anyways. It works back to the point. Long shot, save made. Rebound to the far side. That's just the third shot on goal this period. I guess we've only played a little over 4 minutes. Shot, save made. Rebound. Swatted out of midair wide by Colby Bear.
That would have been pretty incredible had he put that one in.
This is left for Small. His shot partially blocked, and then it rolls to Peck for a cover.
Much better play, though, offensively, though. A couple of good looks. Guys willing to shoot the puck. I think that's the biggest key is, you know, when things aren't going well, you simplify the game. You get an opportunity in the middle of the ice, below the tops of the circles, inside the dots, grip it and rip it. And how about Colby Bear, the hand-eye coordination, almost able to smack that puck back towards the cage in midair. That would have been a highlight reel goal and then some had he found the back of the net there. Very Matt Duchesne-esque from a couple of years ago. There's a name that I feel like I haven't heard in forever.
Draw one back by Zwiecki across the blue line. Shot by Funtek, comes to the side of the net, poked at there, and the whistle goes.
Good second chance opportunity, though, trying to create something. Trying to get some energy in this building here. Again, I really like this line. Nick Sawecki, Will Dawson, Chad Muller. Very blue-collar, workman-style type.
Cats win the draw and promptly send the puck down the ice for Minot's finest collision center icing.
15:22 left. Shots 4-2 in favor of the Toros in this period.
Draw will be down and to the left of Peck. Zwiecki and Patrick Johnson. Zwiecki wins it forward. Quick shot, save made. Dawson was in too deep for the rebound. And now it's going to turn into an odd-man rush the other way if the Cats hurry. Good job by the Toros to get back. Patrick Johnson forced wide by Gibbs. Shot on, save made, and the rebound held on to by Brady James. 15-11 left to go here in period number 2. Toros still trail by a pair.
What a play off of the faceoff, though, from Nick Sawecki, though. Able to essentially walk the opposing centerman, get a shot off, create a rebound. Again, I've really liked the way that Nick Sawecki has played lately as well. We've talked about him and the opportunities that he's created coming into this hockey game tonight. 19 points. Very fitting for number 19. 9 goals, 10 assists. Has 2 power play points to his credit.
Draw will be to the right of Brady James. Toros force it all the way out to neutral, and then Zwiecki hands to Muller. Return feed for Zwiecki was out of his reach. Cats throw it up ice. Tipped by Patrick Johnson, so no icing. Woogie back on it. Plays it to the near side. Jockham's up the boards for Muller. Muller's pass hits a leg, and then it's kept away from Zwiecki. Patrick Johnson dumps it deep. Back on it. Volk. Step 2 and 2 in the corner. Toros eventually find the handle. It's Jockham's.
Much better zone exits from the Toros here to start period number 2.
Dawson tries a shot. It's put up off the far corner glass. They dig there. That's out to neutral where the Cats, Kim is working on Mahler, and that goes poorly for him. Ahead for Stahowiak, into the zone. Stacks mishandled and put himself offside at the line for a whistle. He picks up the puck and looks at it as if, so why didn't you come with me?
Yeah, just one of those unable to corral it, and Cody Campbell not happy with the zone entry. I always think it's funny, though. People get so frustrated when guys mishandle pucks at the line. You know, and I might even throw Cody in there for a stretch, too. Of course, he was a goaltender, not exactly doing a lot of line rushes in his day, but not as easy as it looks. Sometimes pucks have minds of their own. You talked about these bouncing, rolling pucks tonight. A little bit warmer again this weekend.
Toros can't get a shot towards the net on the rush there. Mahler spins it down low. Delayed call coming. And the Cats touch, which gains a whistle. Toros to the power play for the second time tonight.
Yeah, bit of a lighter call here. I didn't exactly think this one was going to be necessarily called. I don't know if we'll have a replay on it. But nonetheless, it's going to be Nick Bear who heads to the penalty box. Check from behind is the call. I thought, if anything, it was a trip or a stick infraction. Nonetheless, 2 minutes on the board. Toros their second opportunity tonight, looking to cash in on the First Western Bank and Trust power play. Could be a much-needed one with the momentum starting to swing back the other direction.
Shot. Go ahead, Noah.
13:50 left in the second period.
Shots 7-3 in favor of the Toros this period. Toros control the draw. Across Lettinen. Gives back to Jockums. Jockums hands off Mahler.
Would like to see a shot first type of power play here.
Mahler looks to walk in, leaves it in the slot. A good diving clear by Toth.
He's had a good game tonight, Ken. Created a couple of good opportunities and a great defensive effort there. A guy that isn't necessarily talked about a ton for the Bobcats.
This is Jockums. Carries into the zone. Stepped into, wins the battle anyway. Jockums taken down on the far wall. Puck squirts free, and now a poke. Toth again able to clear. This is Kren into the zone.
What a recovery by Jack O'Hannison, able to scoop that puck free.
Toros still on the power play for 63 more seconds. As Kettinen looks to dance into the zone and get the Toros set up. He leaves for Jockums. Jockums looks to the side of the net, and O'Hannison, it was broken up, but he gets it back. O'Hannison tries to go short side. It's broken up. Good stick by Jockums. He's not able to hold on, and the puck is cleared down the ice.
Yeah,
Eddie James got left alone there.
A bit too predictable on the power play there, and Bismarck a little bit more aggressive on the kill than what we saw in the first period.
Casey dances through a stick check from Dahl. Plays it in behind Muller. Muller turning. Shot blocked back into the near corner. Muller. Up top for Mahler. Gives to Rugi.
Too much static here, Ken. Not enough rotation. You need more plays like that. Just that little movement.
Stahowiak with a shot that's blocked off. No, it's easy to kill when everyone just stands there, right?
Yeah, you have to force a defender to make a decision.
Rugi's shot is blocked. Rebound to the far side. Rugi finds it again. Banks it in behind the net. Wraparound try for Will Dawson doesn't go, and the Bobcats will have iced this puck.
Good possession time. Shots 19-15 in this game. That would make it like you mentioned, an 8-3 margin now. Toros get one shot on the power play. But again, even at 5-on-5, you're trying to create cycle opportunities. You're trying to isolate a defender. You want to make him make a decision where he's either got to take the guy with the puck or the guy without the puck and has to make the appropriate read and do it quickly in real time. Just not enough movement, and that's one of the things that I think we've been critical about is when the power play is working well, they're either shooting and creating a shooting power play with lots of screens and opportunities, but if shots are getting blocked and they still have puck possession, You got to create some movement, got to create some havoc in front. You can't, like you said, make it too easy, especially for a netminder in front too. Even if you're still going to make a shooting power play when shots are getting blocked, if you have more motion in front of the net.
Toros did not have much at all on that last power play. So there's a long shot, a double deflection, still loose in front, and a diving cover.
Yeah, that puck was ticketed about 4 to 5 feet wide, and it hit the chest of an attacking Toro. Yeah, what a save. We get a look at it again. Oh, maybe we didn't. I thought we were going to have a replay. That was a wild.
Here it is. Well, the scramble in front, we don't get the initial deflection.
Yeah, wild carom in front.
11:27 left to go here in the middle stanza. We haven't even played half this hockey game yet, Noah.
Are you saying it feels like we've been here for a while? Because I agree.
For whatever reason, it feels like it's...
Well, I mean, you've been here for a while. You've been here all day, but I got to at least leave and have lunch and a nap, but...
Far side. Spencer taken down. Puck comes back to him behind the net. Spencer working with help from Small. Gets it back. Tries to return it to Small behind the net. It's cut off by Peterson. Spencer and Beacom now. Takes it away. Plays up top. Kept by Knox. Long shot. Blocker save. Rebound to the corner. And Spencer. Spencer with a big hit on Peterson. Bobcats find the puck and send it deep into the Toro zone. Knox on it in the far corner. Looking for help from Bear. Bear. Pitchforked one into the seats.
I mean, have you seen the movie 42? I mean, that's your pop-up in an elevator shaft there. Nonetheless, so the Toros still looking for their first goal of the hockey game. This is one of those contests, though, where it feels like the early 2-0 lead feels like a bigger mountain than maybe it should necessarily. Toros, when you haven't scored one at all, I think you tend to grip the stick a little bit tighter when you haven't scored versus when you're down 3-1, you've at least gotten on the board, you've solved the netminder, you've relaxed a little bit. But I think the Toros, literally and figuratively, could benefit, or literally and mentally, I should say, could benefit from getting a goal just to kind of ease the tension a little bit.
Far side Toth, who, if our 3 stars weren't sponsored and we were announcing a true 3 stars in the building, I think at least right now is an early case.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a point tonight.
No.
He's just played really well. And
mishandled there, and the Toros take it away. Spencer across for Small. Bear can't get either, and Toth will look to turn on the near side.
This fourth line has had a couple of good line rushes in transition tonight.
Cats gain the line. Shot, save with the paddle, up and out of play for Brady James. It's fun to see Ian Spencer and John Small together. They played almost all of their youth hockey together. Talking to them during the week when they were first reunited a couple of weeks ago.
You know what I just realized,
What?
Ken? One of the officials tonight I went to high school with. Riley Bieberdorf is on the crew tonight, of course. He started out actually in media, kind of similar to what we did with Matthew Semich, who used to be a great writer, still is actually for USCHO, covered the Omaha Mavericks for a long time. He's in Botno, of course, working for the Courant, and Riley started working there and then worked his way into doing officiating. Of course, he was a hockey player growing up, and now is working this game tonight. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together until I saw the name on the back. And
he doesn't still live in Botno, at least I don't think, because one of the many other duties as assigned that I handle is the hotel accommodations for the officials.
Oh, sure.
So if he were still local, I don't think he would have requested one.
Right. Or maybe he made the drive. I mean, it's only a 80-mile drive, but
true.
Nonetheless.
But if he's working down in Bismarck tomorrow, it makes more sense to maybe stay here for the night.
Sure.
Instead of going 80 miles the exact opposite way.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I mean, he started his officiating journey, I want to say 2, maybe 3 years ago, and really had a penchant for it. There's just some guys, when they start, doesn't really matter when, just kind of pick it up and get into a good rhythm. And He was one of those guys. The other that did lines for a long time in Botno, I don't know if he still does, was Zach Munson, who one of those guys that at 16, 17, 18 years of age would do every youth tourney available, and he'd make, in the winter months, a couple $1,000s a month just by doing youth tournaments. So it's a pretty good gig if you're able to do it, and you can always use officials.
Well, I can tell you this, he came from St. Paul.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's, I know the league has a couple of apartments that they kind of house the officials in to make them more centrals. That's an offside play.
More central, but
yeah, well, more centrally located within not just the Central Division, but the Midwest Division.
Sure.
And then also by being in St. Paul, it's a little bit quicker to get them up if they have to go up to Alaska or any of the other divisions.
Of course, he's wearing the orange armbands tonight.
Actually, something that I saw at the league meetings this last weekend, the league very proud of the officiating program with the growth.
It feels like it's a position that's getting younger.
Yes, that is by design with cooperation by USA Hockey. Yeah. Not to go all old man, but years ago when I first got into this league, they relied heavily on local officiating crews that were maybe a little bit more experienced, as there's a long shot save made.
It feels like, though,
but
when you get that youth factor, though, you have guys who are a little bit more, they're not complacent, I guess is the best way to characterize that.
As that goes for Minot's finest collision center icing. But yeah, I think one common complaint was, and I don't think we saw it much up here just because of the history of officiating in Minot, but for those that don't know, Thor Nelson, former NHL linesman, heads the program here, and they take officiating very seriously in Minot. But I think some other places there were complaints of maybe a little bit of hometown bias when you had all local guys, and then also you get someone who's my age or older out there,
has a walker,
and is used to just trying to keep up with the high school guys, and then all of a sudden you throw this level of play at them, and maybe some calls being made from 20 feet behind the play.
And potentially just the small little quirks that come with reffing at different levels and
forgetting, as that goes for another Minot's finest collision center icing, forgetting that the rules are different in junior than high school or even ACHA play or whatever.
I will say this, though, and of course we give officials as hard of a time as anybody, when it feels warranted. I mean, I've done it before. It's hard. Even for someone who knows the game, it's hard. And a lot of it is positioning, too, especially at this level, finding ways to try to not be in the play as much as you can. Everybody sees a play come off the wall, and they go, it hit the official. Well, game moves fast.
This is Stahoyak, walks in, wires, that goes wide, rebound to the near side. Jocums pinches down the wall. Far side, Emmons wins a battle. Freed up, Casey walks in, drag move, backhand tuck, rolls wide. Back to the point, Jocums with a shot, deflection loose in front, hacked at, still loose, and eventually it ends up underneath Peck and the whistle goes.
I was going to say, Ken, if one of these officials wants to point their arm in a straight motion towards the net to our right here, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world in this period at least. 8 minutes exactly left. Shots 22-17. It's been a much better second period from the Toros. They just have not found anything threatening enough to make Peck really feel under duress. Little moments here and there. I think that one would be a good example, the last play. But
just to put a button on my thoughts on the officiating, Noah, I think the other thing with it trending younger is, unlike the past where maybe the ref had a 9-to-5 job in that town and there wasn't a lot the league could do to punish them other than to say, hey, that was the wrong call.
Right.
But, those guys are looking at it more like, hey, you need us more than we need you, right?
Yep.
I can do a high school game on the weekend instead and make maybe a little less, but still
good money. Yeah.
Yeah, and now with the program trending younger and getting guys who are trying to make a career of it, there's a little bit more accountability.
Well, and you talk about the variance as well, too. What year did you mention to me all those years ago when Marty Murray, of course, in the playoffs ended up being a multi-overtime game, and no review at that time as well?
As that comes out front for Stahoyak, he fans on it, and then the turnaround try couldn't find it either. Colby Volk with a shot that deflects off the end wall. Evans in behind as the Toros are swarming a bit now. Up top for Jockums. Jockums works it back to Stahoyak. Stacks lost it along the wall. They dig there. Emmons with a big shoulder. Volk steps in. A couple of Bobcats run into each other and then eventually chip it down the ice. This will go for Minot's finest collision center icing. And yeah, that would have, I want to say the 2014 playoffs.
Yeah, puck never actually ended up going in the back of the net. The guy celebrated like it did, and upon social media video review, game was over, but turns out it never went in the back of the net. Tough way to lose a playoff series and end your season.
Of course, that was a game 4 of a series, so there was still been a game 5, but for the Toros, you still would have liked to at least had the chance to play it and see where it goes. But Cats control this draw, jam it up the far side, poked out to neutral, picked up by Beaumont. Beaumont poked at the blue line. Toros take possession. Cats trying to scramble fresh troops onto the ice. They only have 4 guys in their own zone. Here comes the 5th. It's Toth. Toros working out of the corner. O'Hannison. O'Hannison walks in, looks across from Mahler. A good stick by Burgo. Tips that away, and now Adam Mahler's going to go. And
I was kind of right on the edge a little bit, but I feel like at the same time the Toros got a bit of a softie earlier this period, so eye for an eye. I didn't feel like it's been too egregious. I suppose at this point I can't really fault the official. That would be counterintuitive to my earlier point, but
or our long discussion of the upward trajectory of North American Hockey League officiating.
But nonetheless, again, I thought we were going to get a look at it as well, but nonetheless, Papa John's penalty kill for these Toros for the second time tonight. And that's one of those where if you're Adam Mahler, as much as you want to recover and make the play, it's a one-on-one with your weak side defenseman. Maybe you let him take the opportunity and just try to recover on the opportunity, but
Toros to the kill. They use the glass to get that one out. As far as the red line. Broken up at the red line, and now Cronin forced to turn by pressure from Stahoyak. Taken away by the Toros, and the puck cleared the distance. Looking around the building, I see a few fans wearing the Prairie Grit jerseys that we wore last home weekend. The Prairie Grit, is that one cleared up and out of play? Is everyone okay?
I think somebody must have caught that puck. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty smooth snag.
Yeah.
As would be a Prairie Grit jersey. I have a feeling you're maybe alluding to something of the sort.
I was going to talk about the upcoming sled border battle here in North Dakota. The March 13th to 17th, men's and women's national teams for U.S. and Canada playing 3-game exhibition sets here.
You just want to list all of my connections from Botno, don't you? Of course, the head coach and assistant coach for the men's sled hockey team, Dave Hoff and Corey Gorder, both my high school and college hockey coaches.
Okay.
So
there's a long shot to flex up and over.
What they've done with that U.S. sled hockey program has been incredible. The amount of gold medals they've won as of recent.
Long shot by Toth. That goes up and off the glass, but it'll be a fun week. As this is blocked off, it caroms out to neutral. Still 43 seconds left on the kill. That one dumped in.
Well,
I'll be on the call for those broadcasts as well.
I feel like if you're, by the way, Ken, if you're taking the over on the 1.5 special teams goals tonight, you might be in for some tough luck. Pretty good PKs either way.
Tip play fanned on by Kohanski. Still 17 seconds left to kill. Colby Volk has it with time, and now he'll just send it the distance. 10 seconds left on the Papa John's penalty kill. Zwiecki up on the pressure. Can he get around and stuff it? He cannot. He did get around to the front, but didn't get a clean whack at it. Meanwhile, Toro's back to full strength.
Just couldn't elevate that puck for Zwiecki, but a great turnover created. How good is this line been tonight? Well, it's broken up a little bit right now.
This is Kettinen looking up top. Funtek, his shot's blocked. Zwiecki heads to the bench to get Lettinen on the ice. Cats, meanwhile, try to exit their zone. Kopecky apparently touched that into the zone. Far side turned over to him. He jams it off the outside of the cage. Flicked ahead on the near side. Ohannesson gloves down to the stick. His toss across for Lettinen's. Glove down by Dahl. Left on the far side. Nick Baird dumps it deep. Brady James out of his net. Leaves for Colby Volk. Near side. Far side. Kettinen. Gains the line, looks across for Lettinen. It's broken up. Kettinen finds it back and dumps it deep. Beacom plays it away from Ohannesson. Good keep. They had Ohannesson lurking in behind the defense, but the pass didn't get through. Turned over. Ohannesson can't settle it down. Recovery by Nick Bair. Nick Bair from the red line dumps it deep. Dahl on it first. Ty James steps into him. They spin down. Lettinen steps in as well. Cats find it out front. Shot off the pipe.
Yeah, that would have been a bit of a dagger heading into the third period.
Kai Dunitz couldn't quite finish. Now Knox in behind the defense. Can't get free to pull the trigger. Stahoyak working down low. 2:37 left to go here in the second.
Yeah, Weston Knox on the forecheck. That's a phrase that would sound weird in many other teams, but
there's a long shot from Casey, gloved and held, but Weston Knox often in deep in the offensive zone.
Been pretty good as far as the looks too. 14-5 right now. The margin in the second period for shots on goal. It just feels like the Toros, we'd like to see them get rewarded. But credit the Bobcats. They've kept a lot of plays to the outside, and Peck has been strong when he's had to. I suppose when you're a future Michigan Wolverine commit, you probably are pretty good.
Stahoyak couldn't settle it down. Thrown off the glass on the near side. It'll roll down to the Toro zone. Won't go far enough for icing. Oogie out to neutral. It's picked off by Peterson. Plays it in behind the net. This is Jochums ahead. Casey has trouble. And the Cats take back over. Fandel across. Peterson just jams it out to neutral. Touched ahead for Casey. Casey, nice move. Put the puck through the defender's legs. Carries to the near side. Backhand try. Tipped by Stacks. Doesn't go. Stacks corrals the rebound in the corner. Gets held up. Casey tries to stuff it on the backhand. It doesn't go. And now the puck's back out to neutral. Nifty play there by a couple of nifty plays by Casey. Flicked ahead for Edmonds. It was off the mark.
Yeah, and you look at when Caden Casey creates opportunities, not only with soft hands, but quick feet. Good on his edges, able to turn direction quickly.
This is Bear. Taken down on the near side. Puck spun ahead. They gain the red line and dump it deep. .110 left to go here in period number 2. A period that the Toros have mostly controlled, but have nothing to show for it on the Shields scoreboard. Flicked ahead, Rafalski. Final minute of play brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Equipment. As this is sent down the ice, Funtek plays it in behind for Gibbs. Gibbs to the near side, Small out to neutral, roll-offs, throws it off Patrick Johnson's head and into his own bench.
I mean, we knew as the Mosquito Joe pest of the game, he was a little hard-headed, but we'd like to not test it out.
Yeah, generally don't recommend ear-holing your own guy.
Just the other team?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the last...
Surprised more guys don't wear the earpieces.
Yeah, but it's a style thing,
Yeah.
Ken.
Toros dump it in, chase it down. The shot goes wide. Knox coming on. Shot tipped. It comes to the near side half wall. 32 seconds left. It's thrown back out to neutral for Adam Mahler. Zwiecki dumps it cross corner. It'll roll towards the side of the net. Toros up on the pressure. Kept at the, no, not kept at the point by Mahler. Toros have to regroup. 18.5 seconds. Dumped into the near side corner. Zwex and Mahler after it. Or Muller, I should say. Bouncing puck. And it's back out to neutral. Dawson across. 5 seconds left. Mishandled there. Dump in, blocked into the corner. And period number 2 will end the same way as it started, with the Toros trailing 2-0.
Toros cannot find anything on the scoreboard, as Ken mentioned. Forebears Casino and Lodge intermission report for this second period. Unfortunately not going the way that Minot would have wanted. Official tally 14-5 for the Toros in the second period. In the shot column 24-17. Both teams 0 for 1 in the man advantage in the second. Have yet to capitalize on 2 opportunities each. Other scores around the Central. St. Cloud, Austin 1-1. 10 minutes left in that hockey game. And then Aberdeen now 4-2 is the lead. It looks like they tacked on a couple, yes, at the tail end of the second period. Grant Winkler, Riley Sharon. Men's college hockey news. Let's wrap up some scores that we were looking at earlier. So we mentioned Gophers beat Penn State. Spartans beat Michigan. Wisconsin 3-2 over Notre Dame. 5 minutes left in that one. Bemidji beats Northern Michigan. Tech beats Mankato, and Bowling Green hung on to beat Lake Superior. That's fine. The all-important Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac did drop that game. The number 7 team in the pairwise dropped to the number 56 ranked pairwise St. Lawrence. I believe they're the Friars or something of the sort. I forget what St. Lawrence's official mascot is. They made the tournament a couple years ago during the COVID year. NCHC action, Western Michigan handily beating Omaha. St. Cloud over Miami 5-2. Augustana leads St. Thomas 3-1 with 7.5 left to go. Arizona State up 2-0 over the Nanooks at ASU. National Hockey League news. Wild lead 2-1 over the Penguins. Matt Boldy got the scoring started. Riley Smith responded in the second. Jonas Brodin, his second of the season, has the Wild ahead entering the final 20 minutes of regulation. Rangers Hawks. The Broadway Blue Shirts lead 3-1 after 2 periods of play, and the Oilers Ducks just getting underway. Anaheim 3 shots on goal in the first 2.5 minutes. But the Toros trail 2-0 in this one. What's on the line here? Well, you look at the standings. 7-point spread between the Bismarck Bobcats and Toros. Should the score hold in regulation tonight, it would go to 5. Bobcats would go to 56 points. If Aberdeen hangs on, they should get to 50 points tonight. St. Cloud could make it a 7-point spread between 4th and 5th place for the last spot in the playoffs. Or we could see it tighten up to as close as 3 points, or we could see somewhat of a wash either way if that game goes to the extra session. Of course, we will have Tires Plus, Chuck-a-Puck action, and much more here in the second intermission. Ken will have our Farmers Union Insurance intermission report as well. We'll step aside and be back with some commercials and an intermission report and some Chuck-a-Puck action here on the Minotauros Network.
The Four Bears Casino Sportsbook has a new look. Enjoy Vegas-style betting in comfort. Play and qualify to win trips to Vikings or Raiders NFL games. Order a drink at the dedicated bar. Then kick back in a lounger and watch the full wall display. Feel the action all the way to the final moment and claim your winnings. Book it for private draft parties or game day too. Visit the remodeled Sportsbook at Four Bears Casino and Lodge, 4 miles west of Newtown.
Tomorrow might be hard to see, but tomorrow is right in front of us. And we're always looking towards it. Investing another $4 billion in renewable energy and low carbon solutions through 2025. And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
As far as what Plains Ag has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here. Very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsag.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living. Helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business. Making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live for.
We're down on the bench for the Farmers Union intermission interview. We've got defenseman Colby Volk here. Woogie, no defenseman has ever scored as many goals in a season for the Toros as you have. You got your 12th last weekend. What does that record mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, I couldn't have done it without my friends, my family, my Bell family, and most importantly, the boys. I mean, they've rattled around me, and we've come together as a group, and I think it's helped a lot.
Another record set tonight, not by you, but by a teammate, Trevor Stahoyak, playing his 200th career game. No Toro has played in as many of those 200 games as you have over the last 3 seasons, 134 combined with Trevor. What does Stacks mean to you and the rest of the guys?
Yeah, he means a lot. He's a true leader. I love him. We've come together, us two, and he's really good.
All right, now my main man Dalton here has got a question for you. What's your question for Woogie?
What was your favorite birthday present on your birthday?
He wants to know your favorite birthday present you've ever received.
Well, I think it had to be my truck on my 16th birthday.
All right, there you have it. There's your Farmers Union intermission interview.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Hey Toros fans, it's time for our favorite yearly promotion. We are partnering with Farmers Union Insurance to collect food for those in need in our community.
Make sure you come out to the Pepsi Drink Friday, February 23rd for the 2024 food drive presented by Farmers Union Insurance.
The first 750 fans to bring 3 non-perishable food items or a $10 donation will receive one of these Farmer Union jerseys. The food and donations will go to the Lord's Cupboard of Minot.
Puck drops, 7:35. We will see you there.
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
Keep your child's brain development on track. Talk to your child about the dangers of alcohol use. This message brought to you by the 1st District Health Unit and the Minot Minotauros.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
In life, there's good, better, and the best. The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
The trick to throwing well is knowing where you want the ball to go. Like how the local bankers at First Western Bank and Trust take the time to learn about you and recommend the banking services like online banking or personal loans that keep your goals on target.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength?
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options, great rates.
I've been canning my whole life. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Today I finished the raspberry jam.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, here, take it with you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now for my prize collection. Each jar shows the year it was canned. That way I won't forget when I put it in here.
Grandma, what's that?
Oh. Your grandfather and I worked so hard for this. It's our life savings.
In a jar?
Canning is really the best way to preserve anything.
It's true. The way we've always done it isn't always the best way. See how we're changing for the better at Aspire.
Grandma, you can bank from your phone now.
Oh, wow.
Aspire Credit Union. Aspire to more.
Reminder, alcohol is not a rite of passage. Stop normalizing underage alcohol use. This message brought to you by the 1st District Health Unit and the Minot Minotauros.
Five minutes away from puck drop. For the final 20 minutes of regulation, Toros still trail 2-0 on the scoreboard. Shots 24-17 in favor of the hometown club, who were outshot 12-10 in the first, but got the better of the Cats in that department in the second, 14-5. But it was Cade Kohanski's 8th of the season from Tommy Cronin at the 4:51 mark that would stand to be the game winner at this point. Evan Hunter's 14th from Patrick Johnson and Alexander Kim at the 7:28 mark made it a 2-spot, and that is where we stand. The other scores in the Central, looks like St. Cloud and Austin is likely headed to overtime, and the Wings lead the Bulls 5-2. We'll send it down to the ice for some chuck-a-puck action.
$112. All right, he's got two more chances. Cheer on William for $256. All right, make some noise. One last shot, $128. And we'll give you one more go. Make some noise, Toro fans. Going. Oh, so close.
So close has kind of been the story right now for the Minot Minotauros. 3 minutes away from puck drop, looking for their first goal of the hockey game. Stephen Peck, the 2005 6'2", 175-pound New York native. He's looked pretty good. A .227 goals against and a .912 save percentage. It's been good enough. And Brady James really didn't have a chance on either of the goals that beat him. A backdoor tap in for the second goal, and a puck right underneath the crossbar for what would be the game-winning tally. So far tonight, the Toros, in 2 minutes and 45 seconds, have a chance to change that in the final 20 minutes of regulation. We'll step aside for 90 seconds and be back for period number 3 here in the Minotauros Network. Start of period number 3, face-off on the offside. Coming just outside the Bobcats' offensive zone for the blocker side of Stephen Peck. Toros looking to solve the netminder for the first time tonight. Had a very good showing in period number 2, but just were not able to find the back of the net.
Draw. Puck control, I should say, by the Bobcats, now thrown to the near side. And sent for Minot's Finest Collision Center icing. Sorry for being late, Noah.
Not a problem. And I think this crowd just looking to find a little bit of life here in the third period. Something I also just noticed, I think that Pavel Funtek, the back of his name bar is starting to come loose on.
Actually, so his name bar is shorter than the previous name that had been on that jersey.
Oh.
So there's a shot tip out front, doesn't go. Side of the net, Toros control, back up top, Funtek. Delayed call coming against the Cats. Casey tries a shot, it's blocked up and out of play for a whistle.
First Western Bank and Trust power play for the third time tonight. And
Brady James' water bottle has been everywhere except for where he wants it tonight. Laying next to the net.
And important for the Toros here to try to cash in here early on in the third period. Had a lot of good looks. Special teams has not necessarily been kind to the Toros offensively.
Toros win the draw. Lettinen keeps it twice somehow and plays it down the wall. Muller gives to Kettinen. Kettinen holds, plays up top. Jochums gives to Lettinen. He drops to O'Hannison near circle, up top Lettinen, back to O'Hannison. Walks to the dot, tries a shot, it's blocked, and caroms to the near wall. Lettinen closes off the wall, his sweep across for Kettinen. Taken away and played out to neutral where Jochums takes over. Kettinen has trouble. The Cats corral it.
Yeah, important for this unit too. It's all about the setup, all about the zone entry. Again, if they're not able to establish that right away and get the look that they're wanting, it's been pretty tough sledding.
Toros have really still, I think, carried the play since the start of the second period. Nothing to show for it. Up top, Jochums drops it down low. Long shot blocked off by traffic. And eventually the rebound corralled and cleared by Bismarck.
Yeah, and again, this power play unit too is looking for a shooting opportunity, but just not enough motion, not enough chaos, not enough havoc created in front.
Into the zone, Stahoyak. Stahoyak carries down low. Rung to the far side. Mahler to Woogie, back to Mahler. Left off, Casey drops side of the net. Shot save made, rebound covered by Peck.
And decent puck movement there, but again, you've got three guys from the top of the key down along to the half wall, and not one of them interchanges places with each other, and that's the type of exchange that needs to create opportunities. Again, you can be the best passers in the world, you can have the best setup in the world, but like we talked about, if you stand in the same spot, it becomes fairly easy to read.
Just 10 seconds left on the power play for the Toros. Draw controlled by the Cats, thrown up the far wall. It gets through Adam Mahler. The Toros will retreat and retrieve. Cats come full strength. This is Stahowiak. Shovels it in, but the Cats are quickly on it. Toros trailed by 2 entering the third period last Saturday in St. Cloud. Was that just yes, that was last Saturday we were in St. Cloud. Feels like forever ago. A cross long shot, that one blocked off.
Don't think Brady James saw that one.
No.
Just based on his reaction.
They wave off the icing for, I assume, the collision at the blue line. This is Ty James. His pass caroms ahead. Colby Baird tried to punch it deep, but Peterson cut it off. Plays ahead. Ty James takes over. Sweeps it into the zone. Small delayed offside. Small continues to pressure, so the whistle goes.
Yeah, face-off may come all the way down the ice. I like the way this fourth line has played, though. Feel like they've had a lot of energy, a lot of jump. They'll get fortunate on the face-off. It will stay on the Bobcats' half of center ice. 16:10 left in this one. Shots 26-17. Cats do not have a shot yet in this period. Toros have 2.
You could argue they don't really need one, as this one dumped in. Doesn't mean they wouldn't want some, but at this point.
And I don't know that the Cats have necessarily been all that strong either, besides the first 2 goals they scored in the first 10 minutes.
Of course, if you're watching the Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter streams, you may have more of an idea of why I was late. This one carried in by Cronin. Weston Knox held up.
To be honest, all I have is more questions, and I want to know what you did. So
fair. This is Ty James to the far side. Carried in. Cronin tries his shot. That sails wide. That prevented an altercation between some fans who don't necessarily see eye to eye on which of the 2 of them should be dating a certain woman.
I figured somebody said something mean about Connor Bedard and set you off, but
this is Hunter. I'll be honest, I don't know which of them should be dating the woman, but I informed them that they needed to find a different place to figure out the answer than the concourse behind section 102.
Maybe neither of them at this point, right?
There's a strong case to be made for that, but I had a major and 3 minors in college, Noah. I studied a lot of things, but the dating habits of this particular woman were not among them. This is ahead for Casey. Casey in, shot save made by Peck. He didn't give Casey a lot to shoot at. Good positioning there.
Good shot selection, though. Caden Casey's had a couple of good looks tonight.
Quick jam play doesn't go for Stahowiak. That almost caught Peck unaware. Meanwhile, Hunter going the other way. Cleaned up by Stahowiak on the back check. Evans punches it in behind the net and then wins the battle to take over. Gives Casey. Quickly ahead for Stacks. Stacks for Casey. Casey's shot goes off the outside of the net.
Yeah, we're approaching south of 13 minutes now. I think we might maybe start to see a little bit more pressure, a little bit more defensemen stepping up. That third forward starts to creep down a little bit. Toros is looking for a little bit of life right now.
Stahowiak in. Shot goes wide. Rebound poked to the corner by Peck.
And the Toros haven't necessarily been bad in terms of gaining possession, getting in the offensive zone, creating opportunities, but at the same time, it's been kind of a whole lot of nothing as far as getting towards the middle of the ice, creating those high danger chances.
Puck rolls to the far side, Toth. This is Stahowiak. Long shot, that's blocked. Paddled away by Brady James. Turned over to Dahl. He hands to Kren. Kren walks in, wires tip. Second save with the right leg by Brady James. Setting that one in for plays of the week. Meanwhile, race the other way. O'Hannison can't get by. He's tied up with the Bobcat, and they're going to call the hook.
Yeah, that one's kind of a tough one, though. It's almost like holding the
Fandel
stick.
had his hand wrapped around O'Hannison's stick, and that's what O'Hannison's telling him.
Yeah, in my mind, you take them each way because you could tell all O'Hannison was trying to do
was get by.
Yeah, was trying to get his stick out.
Yeah.
Was no doubt it was an infraction, but it was an infraction that was created by the fact that Fandel, to his credit,
as soon as he felt the slight hook, just grabbed the stick and held on.
Yep. Papa John's penalty kill. Again for the third time. They've been dead even. Each way, neither team has converted to this point. The Cats get their opportunity to make it a three-goal spread.
Cats control the draw. Toros take it away. Spencer chips it deep. Pack out of his net. Plays to the near side. Beaumont. Puck cleared back. Knox takes over. Knox trying to gain the line on the near side. Cats eventually take it back. Emmons up on the pressure, ahead for Cronin. 11:09 as Cronin looks to dance in. Tip play, what a save by Brady James going left to right. Peterson leaves off far side. Kim drops it down low, stuffed play. It doesn't go, but the loose puck squirts out front to a completely unguarded Bobcat, Julian Beaumont. And he makes it 3-0 with a goal that comes on the power play.
Yeah, special teams striking. Finally for the Bobcats. Again, guys not picked up on the weak side. Same goal essentially as the second goal of the hockey game for the Bobcats. Brady James doing everything he can, and that's about it. And kind of the reality of this hockey game has been, maybe if you want to be technical about it, a lack of engagement from the Toros. And what I mean by that is too many guys being passive participants at loose pucks. You know, when the Toros are playing at their best, they're creating opportunities, they're creating turnovers, they're being physical, they're being disruptive, they're on the forecheck. There's been a handful of guys, maybe a unit. I would say this fourth line has been all right tonight, but other guys, it's kind of just been non-existent. And unfortunately, when you run into a team that's won 8 straight, they're going to make it 9 if you're not careful.
Put in front, Brady James dives out and gets it with the paddle.
I think it was actually John Small who got a stick on that as well. Basically, the Toros need a goal every 3 minutes.
Puck on the near side, Dahl. Left up top, Engel. Save made through traffic by Brady James. Puck spun out to neutral. Bear finds it. Bear gives to Small over the line. Small stood up by Nick Bear. Puck around to the near side. Long toss ahead, finds Dahl. Good job by Dawson to get back and take this away. Tries to fight through Bear. Puck in behind the net. Rung to the far side. Jockums keeps it. Kopecky just bowls him off the puck, however. Puck left in front. Casey takes it away. Toros bench wanted too many men there as they didn't play the puck, but Casey was definitely impeded by that line change. Kopecky to the near side, and Dahl Dahl dumps it in.
Yeah, a bit of a strong hit by Vuk at the end here. I think you're starting to sense some of the frustration from the Toros.
Turned over and then in front for Kren. He couldn't do anything with it. Toros take it back. Casey gets roll-offs down. Fans on the shot, however. Pass to the near side. Hunter. Hunter into the zone. Plays down the wall. Toros take it away. It pops up high in the air. Casey gloves down with his stick and just flicks one out to neutral. They'll wave off icing.
Good little chance on the last zone entry for Caden Casey. Couldn't get a shot off, though. I thought he's been one of the bright spots tonight for the Toros. He's created a couple of opportunities.
This is Knox ahead for Lettinen. Lettinen trying to give to O'Hannison, but the pass hit Kettinen. Works out for the Toros anyways. Kettinen delays. Looks to dance in. Eventually it's poked away. Knox shovels it down low. Hannison couldn't stop it. Around to the near side. O'Hannison frees it up. Looks to drive the net. Can't find the handle. It squirts free. Lettinen fires it well wide to the far corner. Ty James looking to walk in. Left off far side. Kettinen. Kettinen up top for Ty James. Shot. Couple deflections. They jam at the side of the net, and Peck gets the glove over the top, and the whistle goes. And then a few cross checks to Lettinen is going to lead to matching minors. I don't think they were going to call the initial slash on Lettinen for the extra whack at the goaltender's hand, but as Jake Peterson poked away at him, they decided to take them both.
Yeah, it's kind of maybe just trying to have cooler heads prevail. Ken, I guess I didn't even notice. Troy Hicks mentioned something about Chad Muller about 7 minutes ago. Fell awkwardly. Have we seen Chad Muller since that point?
He is on the bench right at the red line.
Have to see if he jumps back on. But he got tied up. I guess I missed it, but nonetheless, what I didn't miss, Ken, 29 shots for these Toros. They've yet to find the back of the net. Especially on home ice, it's not exactly the greatest look so far through.
Funtek carries ahead into the zone on the near side. Rolls it deep. Beacom over. Plays across the far side. Beacom gives to Beaumont. Beaumont holds and dumps it deep. Pass to the near side. Small trying to get around Engel. He does. Gets help from Spencer. Spencer put it in front, but Peck poked it with the paddle. Find myself turning into Dr. Seuss.
And if you're the Bobcats, why wouldn't you set up possession behind your own net here? And
Kohanski stepped into puck on the near side. Cronin fights through with it. Kohanski dances through the defense. Save made by Brady James. Follow-up try blocked by Jockums. Casey looking to elude pressure. Casey carries ahead, looks off far side. Jockums. Carried down low. Toros control. Up top, Casey. Across for Woogie. Casey chips it down low. Woogie out front. Fanned on by Dawson.
Yeah, and if you're the Toros here, even though it's 4-on-4, I'd say that you'd want to kind of force the issue a little bit here, try to create something. Again, unfortunately, though, a lot of guys in red, as my dad would say, standing on the railroad tracks instead of keeping feet moving here tonight. Second period, they had a really good push, and in the third, kind of just felt like it slipped away. And And I don't know if I would call it fatigue. We're in game 42 of the season, but for what would be the 4th Friday night in the last 5 now, Ken, unless something crazy happens, Toros will drop a game in which for the first 3.5 months of the season, they didn't on a Friday. Of course, we mentioned other scores around the Central. Aberdeen taking care of North Iowa tonight. 6-2 is the final there, and the Norsemen winning 2-1. In the extra session, Hagen Moe with the game winner. Austin falls further out of the playoff race by a point.
Near side, Bobcats quickly onto their own zone. Knox having trouble with Burgot. Kettner eludes a hit from Toth, and Toth ends up running into the official. Meanwhile, Jack O'Hannison, shot save made. O'Hanny's probably been the most noticeable Toro. Now we've got more pushing and shoving. And it's Kren who wears a bubble, who is the most aggressive player in all of it.
And Lettinen, and
4:50 left to go here in the third.
And initial hacks and whacks coming at the neutral zone. As they sort everything out, I feel like they might not take anybody out of this, but
We hit the 5-minute mark, Noah, which means I had to turn in my if the score doesn't change 3 stars. And
are you wondering if they match?
I didn't even know.
Well, I think Caden Casey's looked really good. You mentioned Jack O'Hannison. I mean, Brady James by proxy.
Yeah.
You know?
But even 3 on 23 doesn't look particularly pretty. It just...
All 3 have been...
Not his fault.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, maybe the first one, but other 2 have been backdoor on the doorstep. Third one on a power play.
Long shot save made by Brady James. The rebound up high in the air. Swatted towards the goal by Kopecky.
I just know at the same time, if you ask a goaltender who's losing 3-0 to be a star of the game, they probably just wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Colby Bear has played pretty good tonight. The guys from this 4th line as well, too. Guys that don't normally get recognized, but I thought Ryland Jacobs has looked okay tonight. But, yeah, it's a tough one. I guess if you want to be really honest about it, Stephen Peck's left and right leg pad and maybe the crossbar.
Yeah. Touched into the zone by Bear. Small after it. Put towards the front. Bear pokes, but a cover by Peck and more pushing and shoving.
I wonder what a bear poke would look like. Probably not good.
I mean, I've been told you don't want to poke the bear.
Of course, the Battle of the Bears, as we mentioned previously, Nick Bear and Colby Bear, respectively. Imagine we'll see a fair amount of this 4th line here down the stretch here with the score. And have the Taros had a 0 spot on the board yet this season? At the end of a hockey game?
That is a...
I don't think they have.
Good question that a more prepared broadcaster would have.
Well, I suppose we could pull up the schedule. Since I am on the NAHL website, maybe I could do my own research. All months for just the Minotauros.
As I open the broadcast pack here that the league provides and scroll to the Toros schedule.
Yes, they have. October 28th, they lost 2-0 in Austin. I believe that's the only other time
Near side, Woogie dumps it in.
Yep, that's the only other
Small
time.
is in offside, so the Toros have to retreat. Awkward collision, puck squirts to Woogie, looks across, one-timer doesn't go for Bear. I get what the Toros are doing there, but maybe just put that on goal.
Yep.
Meanwhile, a big hit in the corner sent Peterson down to the ice.
Yeah,
Spencer.
Clean hit, too.
Yep. Peterson stepped into by Bear again.
This is where, as we've talked about, in usually most games, it's when the Toros have been leading, but also got to be disciplined. You got another game tomorrow night.
Flicked ahead, Casey, gloves down to the stick. Couldn't gain the line. Casey dances in. And then he got caught up with Fandel. The Cats, that's not an icing, it just ends up on net.
I'm not sure why the Bismarck bench was up in arms. I mean, Casey went and jumped around the defender who was trying to hit him. I mean, what more were you looking for?
That's whistled offside.
Not sure if we'll get a look at it on the replay or not. We've got nice first little move. Wow, we didn't get the tail end of that, unfortunately. I didn't think it was particularly egregious. I mean, a guy just stepping, around somebody and maybe catching the stick up high as he tried to jump around, but
this one dumped in. Brady James out to stop.
Nonetheless, though, 2.5 minutes left. Toros would like to get at least one.
Rafalski plays across for multiple reasons, including the Toro Game Day auction, in which someone spent money to have the first Toro goal puck for the evening. This one ahead. Beaumont fans on it. Casey takes it away. Casey holds, looks across. It's picked off before it ever got to Emmons, who then probably got away with a cross check there after the play. Rafalski holds behind his own net. Plays to the far side. Dumped in. Shot blocked off. Shuttled ahead for Bear. Bear leaves for Small. Small tries a shot. It's blocked up and out of play for a whistle. 96 ticks left to talk in this one, Noah.
We won't get to 29 saves, though, if you were taking the over, by the way. So, unless something crazy happens, probably hit the under for 1.5 special teams, and should be all 3 unders tonight. Which is great, because I predicted all 3 overs in the pregame show, so the reverse sweep, always a tough one.
Thrown out to neutral. You got to take overs. No one likes the guy who bets the unders. Although I will say, during my time at DePaul, if there's a big hit, the Toros will go shorthanded.
Yeah, it's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, interference the call, but I went to DePaul when they made the move from Conference USA to the Big East, and then proceeded to not win, I think, 3 conference games my entire undergraduate experience. And we used to go sit in the student section for free. And this was when, if people remember, Bovada was big.
Yeah.
And we would hammer the under on DePaul points and sit there and cheer every missed basket, which often had the rest of the student section just staring at us.
Well, it's kind of like watching a Blackhawks game now.
Yeah, unfortunately. Draw on the near side. Final minute of play brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Equipment as the Toros get the clear. 50 seconds left to go. And Noah, the only good thing I could say about this one tonight from a Toros perspective is good thing there's another one tomorrow, a chance to wash the taste of this one out of your mouth pretty quick.
Yeah, it'd be a long week of practice if not, but still could be.
Even if they get the win tomorrow night, still could be. Taken away by Emmons, and he'll just fire at the length.
Boy, I feel like the shooter in me probably would have rushed that puck. I know there's only 15 seconds left, but that's pretty much all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Not a pretty one.
Yeah. Cats will hold behind their own net, content to take the 3-0 victory. Toros outshoot the Cats 32-26, but doesn't matter. Stephen Peck stops all 32, and the Toros look for redemption tomorrow night.
Yeah, we wait for our Liberty Tax 3 stars in the game, and you know that the crappy thing about it, Ken, is
it was Trevor's 200 game.
Well, and the Toros put up 32 shots. Did it feel like they put up 32 shots? Did it feel like they were particularly dangerous? I mean, maybe a little bit at the tail end of the second, but
there was one post. There was otherwise mostly a lot of one and dones.
I mean,
and a lot of that was credit to Stephen Peck, right?
Yeah, and Bismarck.
Not a lot of rebounds given up.
Well, and Bismarck keeping plays to the outside one and dones. I mean, here's Stephen Peck. This might as well have been a Sunday shopping spree at Barnes & Noble. I mean, pretty relaxed, all things considered. And who even goes to a Barnes & Noble anymore?
Only you or I would go on a shopping spree at Barnes & Noble.
I will say, when the girlfriend asks, it is a cathartic experience. But, you know, I'm just glad I learned how to read last year. But what I can tell you, 3-0 the final score, that doesn't need much text explanation. I think we'll send it down, for Liberty Tax 3 stars of the game.
Here's
Toro
Josh
fans, it's time to meet your Liberty Tax 3 stars of the game. Your third star is number 23, Ian Spencer. Your Liberty Tax second star of the night, number 12, Caden Casey. And playing his 200th game as a Toro, number 81, Trevor Stahoyak.
Yeah, and I think that tells you all you need to know. Trevor Stahoyak is very much a fan engagement guy.
Yeah.
He took about 3 hard strides, fired it to the nearest fan, and turned around and went down the tunnel. That's kind of been what tonight was. And it's weird because, again, as we talked about, the Toros didn't necessarily allow a ton. Bismarck was not otherworldly tonight. Minot had a lot of offensive zone time as we kind of take a look at
the replays of the goals.
Yeah, this was the second goal of the night.
Third one.
Nope, this was the second goal of the night. Third one came on the power play, but almost identical goals. But again, guy missed on the back door. Nothing Brady James can do about that one. And then third goal. Oh, still going to look at the second one, but I mean, third goal, not much different on the power play. Actually, both of them ended up hitting the middle bar in the back of the net. Evan Hunter, this was his goal. Yeah, just not good enough, not gritty enough, not tenacious enough, not winning enough puck battles, not getting plays to the middle of the ice, not willing to force plays in the middle of the ice and take the simple play at times. It was very much a game that the Toros would have won if they were playing North Iowa. They were good enough offensively to be with extended zone time, but it wasn't good enough to be threatening against a team that was able to handle the counterpunch.
Yeah.
It's got to be better tomorrow night.
That's really all there is to say. Well, I'm not sure. You haven't decided if you're making the trip or not. I've got to be better tomorrow night.
Wow, okay. I don't think so. I mean, maybe a haircut, but
I was a little distracted by
my good
third
looks.
period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. making sure that peace was kept in the crowd. But nonetheless, Toros fall 3-0, and not a lot of positives.
Well, regardless of the altercations, the Toros do have a date with the Bismarck Bobcats tomorrow night at the VFW, and the rubber match, 3-3 is the season series so far. You'd like to get back in the win column and kind of get out of this slump. The Toros are, is it fair to say, I guess just final quick thought, are the Toros struggling right now? I think they kind of are.
I think they kind of are too. I mean, but for the miracle comeback last Saturday.
Yeah, could be a 3-game losing streak.
Down 2 with 1:10 to play, and the Toros find 2 to draw even and then get the game winner in overtime. Really, but for that, this could be a 3-game losing streak. And, of course, you can't write off that comeback. That was an encouraging sign, but ultimately here, Toros in the midst of their worst stretch, and again, when your worst stretch is 5-5 over your last 10, that also
it splits down the board basically.
Right, that also is indicative of a team that's doing pretty well when we're sitting here talking about a 10-game stretch in which the Toros won 5 of them as their worst stretch of the season.
Yeah, well, at the same time though, you think about, it's always easier when you get the W on a Friday night because you take the pressure off. At worst you're going to be 500 at the end of the weekend.
Right.
It's a lot harder when you have to go uphill every night, but nonetheless, that's the task the Toros have tomorrow.
And we'll see if they're up to it. Pre-game show at 7:05. Puck drop 7:15. And until then, I'm Ken Oda for Noah Grant, Kobe Brault, Sebastian Machado, Sean Bachhoven, Grace Sandy. I'm doing it again.
MJ Stevens.
There we go. On camera, I'm Ken Oda, hoping you enjoyed the broadcast. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from the VFW down in Bismarck.
This has been a presentation of the Minotauros Network, Hockey TV, Facebook Live, Mixler, and GoTaros.com. This broadcast on the Minotauros Network has been brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Gooseneck Implement, Liberty Tax, and Applebee's. Until the next game, be sure to visit GoTaros.com for all the latest Minotauros news and more.